Hey, and welcome back to the Crochet Crowd Live on this Saturday afternoon. It is currently 12:51 my time. I'm on the Atlantic time zone here in Nova Scotia, Canada, and just stitching along and just finishing up another blanket design. And this design is uh, it's a hugs and kisses, but it's not exactly the same. So I had a request, I don't know how many weeks ago, could have been months at this point, and stated that they wanted the hugs and kisses to be in burlap blanket. And what would the stitch counts be? So anyway, so it was kind of my mission over the last week to kind of look at the Jeannie's pattern and see if we can provide more information. So got another hugs and kisses behind me. That's the candy hearts that was given to you earlier this week on our website. If you want that, it's a free pattern. I have not filmed it at this moment. And yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of what we have going on today. And so we've got, yeah, so I can't just adjusting my settings here. So we got Debbie. Debbie's in the house here from, I think she's from Pennsylvania. And we got Rachel and Orid is back again, and Diana and Kelly. And so I am just doing the final border of this Hugs and Kisses version. And it is, let me show you the right side. So it is a chevron, but it's been squared off. And so I'm doing the final border for that. So I'm being very conscious about how much yarn I'm using. So it's gonna, I think it's gonna take 5 balls in all, but it's a little bit too big for a baby blanket, but definitely a good palliative. So I'm not sure whether to market it as like a palliative blanket or as a toddler blanket. Yeah, so just kind of have some fun with that. So yeah, so kind of just working my way through stuff. Gordon, you're back with us today. Gordon, are you working? I was thinking about you the other day. I don't know. So anyway, so I did a short yesterday on YouTube, and it's so funny. The tape measure was on my desk when I went to go film, and I just naturally grabbed it to fiddle with something. I'm a person, if I'm on a call, I like to doodle, or I like to fiddle with stuff. And so anyway, I just happened to grab the tape measure. Anyway, it turned out to be kind of funny of how big the guy's problem was. I think it just came up with a fake name, Dale. Yeah, but I know women call Dale too. Yeah, so so we have that going on. Karen and I are off to Joey Bean's retreat, leaving Monday. I don't even know what time my air flight is yet, but I don't pack until the day before. Sometimes the day of, but I think we got to leave early in the morning. So I think I'll be packing tomorrow. And so anyway, so crocheting a big project, says Gordon. I think he's now bragging, everybody. Let's get the tape measure out for Gordon. Yeah, so we had that going on. So I know I was Gordon, I was cheating on you, Dale. I was thinking about what a male name I could use, and so I remembered a boy in high school. His name was Dale. He wasn't kind of in the cool group, but he wasn't kind of in the loser group either. Loved his cigarettes and drank coffee in class. Always wore blue jeans and a blue jean coat, you know, like the Canadian tuxedo, I think that's called. Blue jeans with a blue jean coat. And anyway, so it wasn't a romantic thing that I just remembered him. I just remembered him. So I thought, okay. So anyway, so don't ever try to crochet as fast as I am. You go at your own speed. It's not a race. So just make sure that you just do that. Do you do any live Christmas crochet videos? Okay, maybe explain that. What do you need for live crochet Christmas videos? I tend to take it easy in December. So usually in the summer, I'm working harder than most times of the year because I get ready for the fall. But as soon as December comes, I kind of just kick back a little bit. And yeah. The vintage Jay-Z chain and cluster blanket, did you ever figure out the multiple? I don't think there is a multiple for that. Or if there is a multiple, it's on the website. If I did figure it out, let me just take a look. Because I did the whole blanket itself. Let me take a look. I don't even think, did I even do a diagram for that? I don't even remember. A daisy chain. That was a baby blanket, if I recall. It was gray and white. Actually, I just gave that away for the charity. There it is, the daisy wave. Okay, let me just see. I don't think I figured that out because I did the whole blanket. So sorry about that. Let me just make sure it's not been updated on the pattern. Sometimes they go back and do that. No, they didn't. So yeah, so step-by-step Christmas videos. So what kind of Christmas one? I got an email from somebody this week. They gave me a whole book of all the nativity scene, and I declined it because I don't own the patterns, but B, it was a book. And it was just like, it would take a month or so to film all of it and stuff. And I'm not sure the interest level or something like that. So you did a diagram, but I can't see the diagrams because I'm legally blind. Okay. Can you recommend a beginner hooded cardigan? Yes, I can do that. Beginner. Just entering that on my search on my website. Okay, that one's not hooded. Yarn Inspirations usually has good stuff like this. Let me just go on their site, just take a look. Hooded cardigan. Oh, they have a brand new one. Okay, this would be a beginner, pretty much a beginner level. It says easy. I think it's pretty much it. So I'll put a link here for you today. Okay, as far as Christmas ornaments and stuff are concerned, Yarn Inspirations will come out with that probably later this October with Christmas ornament patterns. We'll see what they have scheduled for that to come out with that. So I'm making the peppermint. Finally got peppermint. Finally got that done for the 42 rounds. Holy cow! Okay, so Peggy, you were saying hello. You obviously used a super chat for that. Thank you so much for the tip. It does go towards the video production, as you know. So thank you so much for doing that. You made the Alaskan cow, and I loved it. You made the cow lower. Did you have any issues with that, or should I even be worried about it? Yeah, I ended up going to Alaska last week or the week before, and so that was part of the project. I had a really interesting situation happen while I was there, and so normally when I go to events, my events tend to be very loud, and the women tend to be very excited and really let's go. It's almost like a sorority party, kind of almost. Those that have been to my events kind of know what I'm talking about. It's just lively. It's exciting. People just want to be there. They want to hook out and they want to have some fun. But the event I went to in Alaska, the group was already established and it was a very quiet group. So there was times in the room where it was dead quiet and I'm like, oh my God. So I've never seen a crochet group be so quiet ever. So even in my home group, it's 3 hours on a Wednesday evening. And we just yap and yap and yap and yap. And so I'm so used to that. I was really quite surprised. And apparently I was talking to Karen about it because I thought, oh my God, like this is really unusual. And she said it's not. She said it's typical in the crafting industry that you go to retreats. And she said she's been to one retreat where they had quiet time in the afternoon, that you worked in the room and you just didn't say anything. And if you had to say anything, it was just a low whisper. And I'm like, oh my God, I would like get totally kicked out of something like that. So I'm working on just finishing up a Hugs and Kisses new design. I'm using Beret blanket. It's a palliative or a baby blanket size. Maybe toddler would be better. Yeah, so anyway, so back to my topic there. So anyway, our crochet events tend to be very loud and tend to be, people see the yarn and they say, oh my God, the old ladies are coming on a cruise ship. And we are probably one of the funnest groups, even for the staff that they have. And so we tend to be very, like, we're around for sure. And it's not unusual to hear one table just burst into laughter and then another group just burst into laughter. And you have no idea what people are laughing at, but and I love it. I think it's when I sometimes stand back in the classroom and just watch people intermixing and intermixing and really socializing. It really makes me feel good as a host because it means that people are making those connections, because I think a lot of people end up staying connected with people that they meet at these retreats. So yeah, so quiet, companionable group sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm not the group for that. Is that a tutorial on your channel? No, because it's currently being in design, Emily. I redesigned Hugs and Kisses earlier this week, and I have not filmed yet because I'm still in the process of working through everything. The pattern is currently available though. Not for this one in my hand, but the one I did this week called Candy Hearts. Let me just get you a link on that one. It's called Candy Hearts. And basically the amount of requests that we've gotten over the years since 2017, people want the Hugs and Kisses to be squared off at the end. So that was kind of my mission to square it off. And so I will provide you a link here. Yep. Yeah. So anyway, so I was kind of interested about the retreats because I kind of get in trouble because I can, as Angela can attest to, we can kind of get rowdy, and but I like it that way. But don't have her sing from sea to shining sea. Yeah, because there's a video of her doing it and it's horrible, horrible. But I wouldn't have it any other way. It's still a fun memory to look at. Do you have a favorite beret pattern? Daughter is going to Paris in a few weeks. Yes. So we actually have some several berets if you're interested in that. The thing that I would tell you though, like there's different levels of yarn that you will want to do. Let me just provide you a roundup of the beret patterns that we have. I really like the sock hats, like sock yarn hats. For berets, it's really quite thin, but you can see that there's granny berets, there's solid berets, and more. So you can take a look at that if you like to. So Not Magic, worked in a job that had a talk. I was like that too. I worked in a call center. That's why those call center videos are kind of fun for me because I'm saying stuff I would not have been able to say. Mind you, I had this one woman, and she wasn't on my call, but she was on the next one, and she was just chewing my coworker. And so the manager, we had a manager of the call group, and so he was sitting down and he goes, "Can you take her call?" Anyway, he screamed at her and told her to take her business elsewhere. Yeah, says, "Then take your effing business elsewhere." So she read the riot act, and you know what? She called like 2 hours later, kinder than pie, and finally her attitude, after months of her just chewing all the time, was completely changed from then on. And I remember my coworker turned to my boss and said, "I bet she didn't expect you to talk like that." He goes, "I'm just tired of it." He says, "Sometimes they just got to be told." And yeah. Do you have any Air Force patterns? I do not have any Air Force patterns. I'm not in the Air Force myself, so I'm not sure it's appropriate for me to design anything like that because I'm not part of that culture. Because there might be a sensitivity with that. But yeah, but you might be able to find some of that in Ravelry if you're looking for that. Okay, so Jennifer Taylor, thank you for the compliment. I don't take compliments very well. So if I'm a little passive with that, just so you know, it's normal. I have a hard time with compliments. But I know. Certified nut job right here, folks. My goal is not to crack another ball. Do you crochet all day? No, I'm usually working on computer programming stuff most of the day. I crochet in the evenings, but because I'm leaving for Reno for the retreat, I want to get this thing done. Daniel's probably napping right at the moment, but I haven't had lunch yet. So it's 1:07 my time here in the Atlantic. So I will have lunch and probably just have a quick rest. And I won't pack until tomorrow though. So I've been pulling stuff together for that. Certified, where do you get a certified for that? Yeah. So you're rocking the glasses. I know. You know what? If you have to wear face furniture, you might as well do that. Do you and Karen and Daniel have any plans for this weekend? Karen, I think, was thinking about getting together today, but I haven't followed up with her yet. Daniel, I'm not sure what he's planning. We had coffee together this morning, and then I haven't seen him since because I've been down here working. And the dogs are really quiet, so chances are they're all having a nap upstairs. Yeah. So did you see any patterns for the berets that you might like? Those are what we have. There's not very many choices that I have. I think they're going to come back in style though soon. Yeah. So Ginger, when you get better at taking a compliment, you have to let me know. I can't seem to take a compliment. I kind of have some childhood memories of, you know, like if somebody complimented you, like your parents would say, you know what, make sure it doesn't go to your head. And, you know, so there's a lot of things that I have a hard time with. And I think what bothers me the most, and you may be able to reflect on that, is that when a celebrity or a main influencer or whatever says they love you, and it's like they don't even know you. And I hate that so much. I hate that. You have no idea. Like it's just such a toss out sentence to say. So we have Debbie C from Vegas in the house. What's the, okay. Did you get the smell out of salty? Daniel's supposed to be washing his sheets and everything today, but I don't think that's going to happen. He used kind of a homemade design or homemade mix of stuff, peroxide and something, and towel bathed them because our dogs don't get a bath. So anyway, it's a lot better than it was for sure. Yeah. So we have Nogales in the house. Nogales, I know exactly where you are. I was in Nogales quite a lot when I was a truck driver. I think that's in Arizona, right? And I don't think I'm necessarily saying it right, but I was forever down in that region picking up produce from Mexico that came across the border. So with the Mexican stuff that comes across the border, a Mexican driver comes over and they're only allowed to go so far. And then they go to a docking point and then they offload their whole truck. And then my truck is right beside there. And then they put your stuff on your truck to take it somewhere in the US or take it to Canada. In my case was Canada. So I was in Nogales a lot. Yeah. Would you give a brief description of the event in Reno? So the brief description is we have it's our second annual Jimmy Beans retreat. So we have the Jimmy Beans doing all the legwork. Everybody has their own rooms in the hotel. We're staying at the Peppermill Casino Resort. And so it starts technically Wednesday and it finishes Sunday morning. And many people are flying in for this thing. We have, I think, 110 to 120 people that are going. And there is 5 hosts, which includes me. So I have 4 other hosts. The entire group is being split into 5. And so let me just get the book. So I wrote the book that everybody's getting. So so everybody's going to get a book. And inside the book is everybody's schedules. So everybody has their own schedule on where they're going. And so basically the groups are divided into 5. And then from there, the groups get just move around together. So we have our teachers that we have. So we have Tiffany Brown from Daisy Farm Crafts, Tiffany Tolbert from Georgia, Stephanie Warren from Texas, and we have Anita from Florida. And then we have my assistant, Wendy. So the 6 of us will be on site, plus the Jimmy Beans team. And what we're doing is that we're doing a lot of different projects, and everybody's getting a whack of yarn. And then we're doing all the meals are catered. No, I did not contract Sarah this time. So the events have to change. They can't just stay the same all the time. I'm a constant person because it's my retreat, but the host changed because last year we had Marley Bird and we had Tamara Kelly, and so I changed those hosts out to have different hosts, and then we'll be changing a host out again for next year for somebody else. And so I think it's important because the thing about it is that if you keep having the same host come in, people that come in regularly, they expect the same, what's that called? The same, shoot, what is that called? They expect things to be the same. And so by changing out the hosts, we can, you can't do the exact same thing. And because of that, it makes the event different. Yeah. So it becomes old hat if you have the same host coming in all the time. So Jimmy Beans, they tend to do that as well. They have retreats on their own. And so they switch out their hosts as well so that the retreats don't get stale. Right. So because I'm a person that the women and the men that come in are really quite lively. I'm not a good fit for going into an established show or to an established group because I'm a little out there on the edge. So I've kind of learned that this year, to be honest. So anyway, so that's kind of what's happening here. Yeah, so changing, otherwise I expect the same routine. So new hosts equals new experiences. And so that's why we changed the cruise ships out as well to different ships and different activities and different things. So it doesn't become too routine. Yeah. And so the groups, so basically if you traveled with a friend, they're in your same group within our retreat, but the groups are randomly put together. Yeah. So how big is the blanket going to be? I don't know. I don't know that yet, but I'm on my last round here. And I'm just hoping I don't run out of yarn. I wanted to go one of those Elvis's cruises. Well, you better sign yourself up and go. Life is short. Enjoy the ride. Right. So anyway, so my events are not scripted either. So I've been kind of just going in my brain just to, I know it's a scary place to be. They're not script. Like I'm trying to plan my my opening speech or my opening presentation, but basically I write just a couple notes on a piece of paper just to make sure I hit it. But then whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. And so though I'm censored on YouTube here and Facebook for sure, in the live events, I let the language and my personality just go. Yeah. Because sometimes only the F word can be the right word. Yeah. And it's not uncommon for me to get heckled when I'm in the classroom, but I don't, or in the presentation, which I don't mind, because if you heckle me, I'll come at you twice as hard. And it's usually a good time. It's usually people get a good laugh, but if people can't handle it, then they shouldn't heckle to begin with. And so you just go with the punches and see how it goes, right? So do I still loom knit? No, not really. I can loom knit. It's just I got bored of it. Yeah. Yeah, so we do the people want us to move around the US, but we need to be in a distance within a yarn company, and Jimmy Beans is the right company to be close to because they handle all the hotel, the caterers, they handle all of the they because they're right there. They just bring stuff over to the resort because they're right there. So it's so much easier than me flying in and trying to figure out how to get all my pallets and everything to the location. So Jimmy Beans is doing all the hard work in this particular case. I think the hardest thing, I was telling my friends last night at dinner, the hardest thing about doing events is feeding people. That is the hardest thing ever. People have their wish lists and then they have their dietary restrictions, and those are the hardest things to be able to plan around. So we have to be very careful on where we go, that the place can handle dietary issues, such as gluten, celiac, or is that the same thing? Gluten, dairy, soy, peanuts. There's a whole whack of stuff. So that's the hardest part about scheduling. And it's probably one of the reasons why Daniel and I never have company either. Vegan as well. Yeah. How do you find the crochet retreats? Well, we have, you can just enter it in a search engine, I'm sure. But we do list them at the top of our website under events. We do have one next year that is a crochet cruise, and both of the cruises have spaces available at the Crochet After Dark program if you're interested in that. So the main workshops are full, but we have Crochet After Dark where in the evenings the entire group gets together and we just stitch out. You'll still get a t-shirt, you'll still get some swag and for the Crochet After Dark, but it's not as intense program as the workshop ones. There has been a couple cancellations, but there is a waiting list, and so the people on waiting list have moved into positions. So you never know. Yeah. So if you are interested, let me just post you a link. So they vary on price based on the cruise ship and the itinerary, but next year's one to the ABC Islands is going to be a big one, I think. Well, I know it is. It's the ABC is Aruba, Carousel, and Bonaire, so the ABC Islands, and it's a long cruise as well. And we do have a shorter cruise that we have space on for Crochet After Dark for the Western Caribbean as well. So, and that's a cheaper cruise if you're interested in that. Yeah. So the food is always so with learning, the food is always the biggest issue. It truly is. And then if somebody gets sick because of the food, it's horrendous to deal with that because they're sick and there could have been an error. So usually in our groups, what happens is they put people with certain dietary restrictions together so that the service staff is aware that this table has special issues. And yeah, so Gordon was just sitting there waiting to say that comment to me because I know exactly what he was thinking about. So we're going to have to reach across and yeah, Gordon is so bad. Let's give Gordon some hearts today. I'm getting stressed out. I don't want to play Yarn Chicken, but I might be playing Yarn Chicken. Yeah. So anyway, Daniel and I are watching Ozark right now, the TV series. It's pretty dark stuff. Oh my God. So we're near the end of the series. So people are finally getting what they deserve. Yeah. So just me just says happy Saturday. And so we're giving, so Gordon's getting some love today by you people. Oh, so I'm on here, the events. It looks like I got to get rid of the Alaska retreat out of there. That's gone. And then Jimmy Beans, I think we'll do again next year, but I got to talk to Jimmy Beans to see if they want to do another one. The mystery that we have is full for next May. There's actually a retreat this weekend that I really wanted to go to. Is a miniature camp retreat. I was talking about it a little bit on Facebook this morning, and I really wanted to go to it, but it doesn't finish till Monday, and I'm flying out on Monday. So I really, really, really wanted to go, and it was so cheap to go. It was, and it's in my backyard here, and I was like, oh. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah. So my one friend is having somebody with food issues coming over to see them, and I'm like, just tell them to bring their own food. Like, seriously, they know what they can eat safely, and if you're guessing and you're not sure, it's a big mistake. Even if you get a list, right? Oh shit, I'm gonna run out of yarn. Well, it's not yarn chicken at this point because I know I'm going to run out. But I'll have to crack another ball. I know. Y'all love when I strip a ball label off, I'm sure. I'm being a big bowl of mashed potatoes. You're my kind of girl. I love mashed potatoes. That's my kryptonite. Well, is it my kryptonite or is it my cocaine? I love it. I love potatoes. And I like potatoes just as is. I don't need the butter. I don't need the cream or the salt. I just love potatoes. So I could have gagged. We were on this one event in North Carolina, and they served baked potato in this container. And anyway, the amount of butter that was it was buried in the butter. And anyway, this person that was with me ate the damn thing because I'm like, that is disgusting. And just ate the thing. And then she drank the rest of the thing. Oh my God. Liquid butter. I'm sorry. There's just some things I just cannot handle. Because I am sure she had the greasiest bowel movements after that. Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't feeling well the day that happened. I'm like, I was gagging just watching it. Yeah. But I have to do adulting. So go and adult. Sweet potatoes. But I like butter too, but not like that. I'm not drinking butter. Yeah. Ate the fat off the roast. Okay, I can handle the fat off the roast. That's really tasty. You know, it's either that or give it to the dog, but yeah. I like the gristle. There's something about the butter, though. I know, Diana. I know. Diana's got a green face today. I'm going to just need another ball just because to get me a few more inches. And Gordon, don't even go there. Okay, so let me just go and get another ball. I think this blanket might be too big for a baby. But maybe a man baby. Yeah. Okay, so Gordon's talking about me while I'm away. But I make it so easy. So when I'm at Michael's, this is my little tip for you. Not that you're looking for tips today, but I'll give you a tip. Is that when I'm at Michael's, I look at the lot numbers of the yarn, and I make sure that if I'm grabbing a whack, that I grab the same lot number to make sure that it's the same tinge. Can somebody tell them what Mikey is making? Well, I heard that he was making a baby blanket with hugs and kisses, but it's squared off, and I'll show you in just a few moments because I'm almost done. What type of blanket is it? So it is either it could be a palliative, or it could be a baby blanket or a toddler blanket, or just a lap gown. The lap blankets are kind of like palliative to a certain degree. They just can't go too big, so they don't catch in a wheelchair. So Amy is with us and taught her how to knit, loom knit, and crochet. And Kelly's here. So Kelly is my close friend home. Look at that yarn chicken. And I just had a little bit more to go. I'm sure it's Kelly's fault somewhere. So Kelly's is my close friend here, and she had a fire in the next business to her last week. It was a big one too. Anyway, so she got evacuated out and the whole 9 yards. And so then she's been working from home because they're going in to clean her business. She's an employee there, so she's not her business technically, but it was big. It was a big deal. But I ran the bus over her so hard the other night. I actually kind of felt bad about it. I was telling Daniel about it too. So she doesn't ever do it, but I caught her doing it. And so you know how you get those people in your life, and Kelly, maybe you should turn me off right now because I'll be talking about you for a few moments. And anyway, but people tell a story and they say, well, that's nice, but get this. And I heard that something like that come out of her mouth. And so she's about to one up a story. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Anyway, it ended up becoming quite a comical relief in our group. But we have a really good group of women and men that show up. So everybody's pretty cool that way. So anyway, so I totally took the bus over her. And did she tell her story? She absolutely did. Yeah. But I wouldn't have it any other way. She's a great girl. She's a good friend to have around. Yeah. Lot number is a dumb question. Is it true for white as well as it is true for white? Yes. Because you don't know. Yep. So anyway, so yeah. So I got a mess. Oh, sweeties, I can handle it. I've been in dirtier situations, trust me. And Gordon, don't even go there. Yeah. This man baby can handle a few knots because I get my scissors out and I start hacking the hell out of it. Thanks for all you do. Taught me so much. Lots of people. I tell lots of people about the channel. Thank you so much for your vote of confidence. I try to have some fun. Is there a pattern for the gray blanket on the chair behind you? Yes, it's on our website, Cecilia, and it is called the bean cap blanket. Let me get that for you. I'll put a link here because that's just the kind of girl I am. Just that bean cap stitch, and it is. I designed that for Jimmy Beans last year, and I just put it online last week. So there is the bean cap stitch for you there, Cecilia. have that going on. So Gordon can only imagine how dirty it gets. Yeah. People says, God, you got so dirty yesterday in that little short. And I'm like, I didn't really intend it to be, but it kind of went that way because that's just my personality. I know. And Cecilia's not buying that. Get those hands into the barf. Yeah. See, I told you I attract really interesting people. It just comes with it. Just comes. I just need a few inches. But I have no issues with cutting anything. So if it's gonna get on my nerves enough, I will cut it. Kelly knows that I'm a cutter. My whole group flips it when I get out the scissors. Daddy doesn't have time for tangles. Oh, Jesus. My homework is done for the cruising. Excellent. Kelly's done her homework too. She did a really cool homework tech on that. Oh my God. Gordon, you're on. This is not OnlyFans. This is Crochet. This is YouTube. You're on the wrong network, sweetie. Yeah. So you're worried about going by yourself. Don't worry about going. Kelly. Well, don't worry about going by yourself because there's a lot of women that go by themselves on our events. But you know, if you're fun and you know you're willing to sit and meet new people, then you'll be fine. But if you're a wallflower and you expect people to come up to you and you know try to include you, you have to make effort to get to know people and to say hi. But we do icebreakers on board the ship as well, so we do little games and stuff too to get you talking about different things. And if worst comes to worst, if you talk about yarn, it seems to work. Yeah. I know, go figure, right? I don't ever have this much problems with the chunk that comes out. And Daddy's done. So anyway, so this will be a new blanket. I just got to be in the mood to do it. So this is Hugs and Kisses, squared off. So this is just taking me a few nights. Well, it's a lot longer than I thought. That's probably not a kid's blanket. It's probably like a toddler's blanket. So anyway, I squared off the bottom. So you have that. And so it's going to take 2 balls of pale gray and then 4 balls of Beret blanket because you're going to have to crack a 4th ball. And now I got to deal with this. Yeah. So anyway, so if you go on to the candy hearts, let me get the candy hearts for you. I actually provided that information. I did a candy hearts. I provided information for the different sizes of blankets, which includes Beret blanket. And there's a link for you. And it was, what did I use? I used Beret blanket. I used chain. If you go on the article, I used the chain 86. So with just 3 chevrons across for a baby size. And that's probably good for also palliative care as well. So Angela, it looks like you got a friend in Kelly and she's a good girl. So She's a good person to have around. We're doing an 80s party on board. And so some of us are thinking about doing costumes for the 80s. And Kelly was talking about being a Cabbage Patch Kid. And I think Karen was talking about being Velma from Scooby-Doo. And then I was thinking about being Rainbow Bright. I don't know. But I was reading the reviews on the costume, and apparently the costume doesn't fit very well. But I'm a man anyway, so it's not like it will matter. But I'm more interested in the purse. And then I have some cruise shoes. Do you want to see my cruise shoes? It's my first time ever buying high heels for myself. In today's area, you can get away with it a lot easier. So anyway, so Karen and I, we have the same size shoes. So sometimes I wear her shoes. And anyway, so I bought this with her in mind. Anyway, those costumes sound awesome. So I bought, so you got a picture. We're going to do high tea. And so I needed to get high tea shoes. So these are going to be my cruise shoes for high tea. So anyway, are they ridiculous? Yes. These are Flu Vlogs, or John Flu Vlog. And anyway, so so Karen is the same size, so I bought it with her in mind as well. And the trick for us is that we have wide feet, so we never get a shoe with a point on there. Are they comfortable? Absolutely. The amount of cushioning in the shoes, and as soon as I put these things on, I just get totally confident. Yeah. And so I don't, so it's just been kind of fun, and it's just, you know, I live in a very good area that you can get away with something like this really easily. So yeah. So with the right pair of jeans, I can't lift my leg that high. Yeah. So they're kind of fun. And so anyway, so during high tea, and then I'm thinking about Rainbow Bright. If I do Rainbow Bright, I can wear those shoes too. I don't know. So I used to do drag in my 20s, my late 20s. And anyway, I would buy my shoes at Value Village, and I bought these 6-inch heels once. And they were very much like Mary Jane heels, and I tripped on the stage. And so anyway, I tripped on the stage, and I'm lip singing, I think, Celine Dion, I drove all night. And anyway, so as I went to go step back onto the stage, my shoes cut on the bottom of my dress. And anyway, I went down on my face. And so though I'm lip singing the whole time, all they heard was shit. That was the last time I ever did drag. And these shoes, because they were 6-inch, once you start falling forward, you just keep on going until you end up on your knees. And yeah. So anyway, so they have the rubber. So yeah. So I just got to find the right pants for those. And so those are my high tea. Yeah. Can we see a picture of me in drag? There is. Just thinking. I think I have a photo online. Just hold on a second. Okay, so I have never posted a photo of these online. I don't think so. Be nice. So I will show you a photograph of my first serious partner. He died of cancer. And so I am 28 in these photos, and he is 30. And anyway, he was my first serious partner. Are you ready? So I took him to my company a Christmas party up here. Anyway, the company was really upset about it. Yeah, he was a good guy, really good. Anyway, we had a lot of fun together. We almost looked like brothers. So he was an athlete, and so he was a marathon runner. So me and drag. Well, I don't know if there's any good photos, but I have a photo of my mom in those heels. So that was me and drag. So I am 28 in that photo. So anyway, so that was fun. And then my mom came over for Thanksgiving and she tried on my heels. That woman went over. Yeah. So anyway, these, I wanted to put these in my book, and it just never happened. Just my publisher didn't want to put them in. But yeah. That's a blast from the past for sure. Yeah. So anyway, so I have a huge gap in my life. So I lost my all my photos because they were all digital. And so I have almost 10 years of my life that has no photographs at all. So this was in 2002 that happened. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so it's been a long time. So then I went through a huge gap without any photos. But what I did is that because I was in another partnership, I printed photos as I went, just once in a while. And so those are the only kind of photos I have from that era, just what's in there, but they're all blurry and they suck. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Be my own publisher? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to cause any more work for myself. Actually, you know what? Here, I just noticed that I actually have a crochet blanket that I did behind me here. It was my Christmas blanket to myself. So yeah. I just noticed that. Now that I've seen that. And then I have my second ever crochet blanket that I ever did was right here. And this one I did as a teenager, but I am currently, I think I'm 27 here, and I still had that blanket at the time. But I end up having to leave that location, and I left everything I owned behind. So I love this blanket. So this blanket had yarn from my grandmother, my mom, anybody that would donate me yarn because I couldn't afford to buy yarn. But anyway, that was that blanket there, and it was double stranded. It was the nicest there. Homework for the cruise. Just one second. Crochet Cruise update. Anyway, so once I left drag when I was 28, that was it. I didn't ever do it again. It was enough. And I honestly, I wasn't great at it. Cecilia, here comes the homework for the Crochet Cruises. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. Yeah, so anyway, so I don't post those photos on my Facebook. Because it would kind of hurt Daniel's feelings if I put an old partner up too. And I don't think that's very fair. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of a little bit of a look. What is the date of that ship? Will be in Victoria. Any idea? Victoria. I don't know what you're talking about. Have I always crocheted? I've crocheted since I was 14. So that one blanket where I was lying on top of it, like I did that when I was a teenager. Probably I might have been 16. It's before I went to college. So I went to college when I was 16, 17, and I graduated college when I was 18. And I graduated so early that I wasn't even allowed in the college pub. So I didn't have much of a social life in college at all. Where high tea will be. Okay, let me take a look. I'm just looking at the itinerary. I don't see Victoria. I'm not sure which at the Empress. We're not going to be doing high tea at nighttime. No, it's during a day. So we will be at sea when we do high tea. Just trying to see. Bimini. We're in Bimini, Cosmo, Georgetown. Yep. So what is the next crochet project, Mikey? I have to decide that when I get back from Reno. I haven't done that yet. I haven't got that far in my thinking. So I'd like to do another sock yarn hat though. I really like Daniel's that I did a couple days back. So I've been on this adventure of doing hats with sock yarn. So I've been just kind of playing with the idea of sock yarn. And I never have done any hats of this level of yarn before. And so anyway, I made several designs. Let me show you what those are. And on our website on the homepage, if you look at the menu, it's called exclusive, and those are exclusively our patterns. And you can take a look there. As far as Seattle, we don't have anything booked for Seattle. We don't have any Western plans at this time. So we did do it once. We've gone twice actually to Victoria, but we have never. But we don't have anything booked in the future. I have to think about 2026, what I want to do with that cruise-wise. The older ships are cheaper and everybody's on a budget. So the older ships I like, actually, to be honest with you. The newer ships, they just pack too many people on board. So I have to look into what I'm doing for 2026. Probably get a hold of Sherry and just come up with some ideas. So yeah, so love that I grabbed the caveat yarn for the musk ox farm. I was thinking, let me give you a link for that. I was thinking about doing a retreat back in Alaska on our own. And anyway, the musk ox farm, let me just show you, if you want to see a link of their retreat space, I think that it would be an awesome space to have. They're currently building cabins on the premises, so it won't be available for a few more years. But if you want to take a look at that, you can see the retreat space that they already have going, but I would really want the cabins and stuff. Yeah. So amusement park ships are not for me, that's for sure. Back alley cruising. Back alley. I was thinking, Gordon, seriously though, I was thinking about cruising Crocs. So I've been collecting those stupid, I got 5 of them now, but those little McDonald's thing. So because Daniel and I are together, we order 2 Happy Meals and then we get 2, right? So, so he doesn't collect this shit, but anyway, I have to determine if I'm going to take these to Reno with me to put it on my lanyard. Because yeah. So Hatcher's Pass is another treat and beautiful place and favorite stomping grounds. Hatcher's Pass. Let me take a look at that. So I haven't confirmed anything. I just Hatcher's Pass. Look at that. Wow. Oh my God, that's like right out of a movie. So Cruisin' Cracks, yeah, between Palmer and Wasilla. You know what? I think Delia was talking about this when she was driving me through. She said just beyond there is a major pass. That's probably what that was. Hey, that's close enough to the airport too. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to head off. I'm going to grab myself some lunch. It's 2 o'clock my time zone. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to join me this afternoon as I crocheted my sample. And we hope to see you online in the near future. See ya.